before my stream got cut. Please do not come into my chat. Please do not come onto my channel. And make comments like that. Do not come to my channel and ask me if I'm promoting a race war. Do not come to my channel and make comments in my chats or in my comment section about anything crazy like that. I want to be very clear with what a race war is, because I think on YouTube, people say a lot of things, and there are fantastic things and they are crazy things. And people are enthralled by them, and it sounds amazing, but it's not true to what anybody who's reasonable and rational and a good human being would do. Nobody is about to engage in any sort of behavior where we start killing people on sight simply because of the color of their skin. When we talk race wars, because people come on YouTube and they say things, and I think a lot of people like to hear them, but these things are not attached to sanity. So when we start talking about people being subhuman or people being non-human, when we start talking about, killing babies and children, when we start talking about simply because of the color of a person's skin, that they are evil or bad or something, when we start talking about things like that, that becomes problematic. And anybody who has spent any length of time on my channel, or anybody that has watched anything on my channel, will know that in no way, shape, or form do I advocate, promote, or agree with a race war. First and foremost, race is not a real thing. Secondly, I'm not responsible for, nor did I develop the dynamics that currently exist. So when I say white people this or white people that, I'm saying it because if I look, those are white faces, right? If I look, as I was saying earlier, at individuals who have gone over, like I said, to the Andaman Islands and killed 6 out of 10 tribes, and then helped pass on those bodies, those Black bodies, to a country that believes Blackness is a curse, and then they initiate a human zoo, all of those people have white skin. When I look at Australia, and I look at white people with white skin, developing policies where they would purposely kill and breed out Black people, then if I say white people, it's not me promoting a race war. It's me simply stating like a historical fact. If I go to a place and I can see, like in South America, that Black bodies were brought over there, and as those Black bodies are being brought over there, they're being enslaved, and the natives are being raped to create a buffer class. Well, I'm going to have to say, okay, those were white people, especially if those people have white faces. But please, I don't want us to convolute the fact that I will say that with me saying, oh, let's have a race war. That's not what I'm suggesting. I would never suggest that you look at a baby, as I said before, a 1-day-old baby or something, and be like, oh, let's just kill this baby because it's white. And I really am very leery of people who engage in that kind of rhetoric. There is a difference between stating a fact, which is white people did this or that. White people are a problem, especially the wealthy among them. Again, I don't think that your average blow Joe schmo white person, they may have a superiority complex, okay? They may have their little issues, but they aren't the main problem. I don't think they're the main problem. The main problem are those that are in power and who promote ideologies that the general white population picks up on it and enables. Those are the people that I feel are a problem. But I would stop short of saying, let's have a race war. I would never tell you or anybody else, and I would not trust anybody who is just like, if you see somebody with white skin, kill them. We can't, and I was saying this earlier, we cannot, on one hand, say that white people are evil, that they clearly are devils because they would do things like bash black babies' heads in, or they would do things like, rape or kill black children, or they dehumanized black people. You can't say that in one breath and then in the next breath say that you want to kill a white baby. How are you different than them? And that's kind of like the rant that I was on earlier. It's like a lot of stuff is said on YouTube. A lot of stuff is said, and do not drag me into that crap. Do not come into my comment section. Do not come into my presence and address me and try to lump me in with anybody that's on some bullshit. Like, please do not do that. Do not lump me in. And do not come to my channel and even say some shit like that. All of these people who are promoting this, who are trying to say, well, they're not human beings, so they should be killed. That is insane to me. How are we better than them if we want to do all the same stuff that they did? How do you get to call a group of people evil because they kill non-white people everywhere they go? Because they believe that black children are not children. Because they kill black babies. Because they commit genocide globally. How do you say that they are evil, but then you want to do the same crap? If I say revolution and these people shouldn't be in power, that's exactly what I mean. But I would never say some crazy crap like, well, just kill them all. Every man, woman, baby, and child. That is insane. Honestly, I'm not trying to even fuck with anybody that would say some crazy crap like that. If that's the page you're on, well, then you're just like them. Slave Ascendant Freedom said, what else can you do with them? What else can you do with them? Well, let me ask you something. Let's say there are no white adults. Let's say there are no white people over the age of 5. Okay? Let's say there are no white people on this earth over the age of 5. What do you do with the 1, 2, 3, and 4-year-olds? What do you do with the babies? I'm asking you, Slave Ascendant Freedom. What do you do with the babies? Just take all the adult white people, all the teenage white people are gone. All the tween white people are gone. They're just newborn to 5 years old. What do you do with them? Six Ella DeGreat said, teach them better, I guess. I mean, this is why I wouldn't promote a race war, because people like to throw words around like race war and stuff like that. But you know what? A race war would mean they would all go. And if they're evil for committing genocide, what are you if you'll do it? Slave Ascendant Freedom Party, and that's what I'm talking about. So let me clarify this, because the fact that somebody even was on my channel saying that I believe in a race war is a problem for me. So let me be very clear. When I say white people this or white people that, it's because they are the literal people doing the dirt. So if I'm looking at a situation, if I see a white person beating up a kid and I go, look, there's a white guy beating up a kid, I'm just pointing out a fact. It's a white person beating up a kid. If I say white people are running amok, I can prove this. Over in the UK, white people are raping children at a higher rate than anybody in the world. In South America, white people have killed off almost all of the indigenous people, and they stole some black people and took them over there for good measure. If I look in Oceania, white people have completely annihilated at least about 36 different tribes of black people, created policies to breed out black people, taken over black land and given it over to the Indian white people, the Indians from India. If I look at the white people in India, I have a clip of a white Hindu, like one of their spiritual leaders, talking about why God made white skin and black skin. That black skin was a result of karma and a curse. So if I can look around the world and I see white people running amok, I'm going to say white people are running amok. And so we need to not leave them in power because we see that they don't know how to handle power very well. They're a problem. But if you're going to be as big of a psychopath as them, then it's not going to help to have you in power. So I would never promote us doing the same thing they did. When we talk about something like all of the Tasmanians being killed, that included the babies. Okay? When we talk about the Tasmanian genocide, that included the babies. When we talk about the genocide of the Great Andamanese, that included the children and the babies. That's a race war. A race war is when you completely annihilate, including infants and children, a group of people solely based on their skin color. So I want to be super, super clear. Well, okay, Amenti, I'm not going to talk about the coronavirus, but Chinese people are just a form of white people. In China, they oppress dark-skinned people too. It's the same worldwide. It's the same everywhere. So please don't come here and be like, Irene is down for a race war. Irene, just come out and say that you want a race war. Irene never said some shit like that. I would never, ever, ever promote killing a little kid simply because they're white. That's why I said, take everything out of it. That's why I said, take everything out of it. And if there were only white people that were the age 5 and under, what would you do with them? If you can honestly say, I would kill a 1-day-old baby, I would kill a 6-month-old child, I would kill a 2-year-old just because they were white, then you want a race war. But if you're not that person, then why would you even say something like that? That's like when we say that they're not human beings. When I don't say this, but when people say stuff like that, it's like, okay, so when you see an infant, that infant is not a human being. They're subhuman. So then what do you do with that subhuman person? And then if you believe that they're subhuman, how are you better than the white people who believe that black people are subhuman, that believe that black children are subhuman? If you are calling them devils because of how they move in the world, but you want to have the same rhetoric and move just like them, You know what? I believe in, when I talk about revolution, I'm not talking about just being dumb. Okay? I'm not talking about turning into a monster. What is the point of a revolution if you're going to be a whole disgusting beast? If you're going to be a monster, if you're going to be as disgusting of a human being as the people that you are trying to overthrow, why have a revolution at all? It will just be the same bullshit with the black face. It will be the same thing with a black face on it. It won't be anything different. Just don't come here. Don't come to my space talking that race war crap when you don't even fully understand what a race war is. Now, is there a problem where the people being usurped are going to have white skin? Yes. Yes. That's right. I can't help that though. If the people causing all the problems have white skin and they're going to get usurped, that just kind of is the nature of the beast. In my eyes, no matter what color the people were, if they are moving the way that these people are moving, they're going to have to be taken care of. My problem isn't with their skin color. My problem is with their behavior. It just happens that all the people that are behaving this way, the majority of them are white. I don't believe they believe in a race war either. That's what I was saying. I was saying that people come to YouTube and they say crazy crap because it sounds fantastic. You know, they make videos and they talk crazy and they say insane things because it sounds nice. But these things are not realistic. Nobody is a whole psychopath out here. And that's why that was my rant earlier. Like, everybody is so like on a polar and on an extreme. I am pro-revolution, but I'm not pro being a psychopath. I'm not pro just doing dumb stuff just to do something stupid. And that's why I said, when you talk a race war, what does that really mean? When you're trying to shove me in a box and you're on my channel and you know who you are, and you're on my channel talking race war stuff, what are you trying to say? I don't even believe in race. White people created that stuff. They did it to dehumanize non-whites. So I'll call them for what they want to call themselves. And I will say, since they are the people that are majority in power, then when we deal with these people in power, when you go to the G20 summit, most of those people have white skin. So if somebody decides to toss the G20, that's not a race war. It just happens that the people that are on those shenanigans happen to have white skin. And that, I think, is a key difference. And I think that really needs to be said. Because it's not about looking at a person. I do not think you can simply look at a person's skin color and judge if they are good or bad. I think to say that you could is bullshit. Just because somebody has black skin does not make them a good person. I think everybody who is honest can attest to that. And to the same quotient, everybody who has white skin is not a monster. which is why I couldn't agree to a race war. I could never agree to, like I said, taking a 5-year-old white child and being like, okay, they're white, let's kill them, they're evil. And that's why I have a problem with a lot of this rhetoric. I really just want to burn all this stuff. Woke, pro-black. I want to burn all these terms because they lead to dumbass conversations. And they lead to people coming over to my page and making stupid comments in my chat that I have to delete and address because clearly objective reasoning is not in the room. So I just want to clarify it. I want to clarify it for the slow people in the back of the bus who clearly have not watched all of my videos. I am pro-revolution, socio-political revolution. That means that I feel the social structure of both our society, locally and globally, is very pollutive. I believe that the political structure is very pollutive, and there needs to be a change. There are people at the helm, and what they are on, I am not on that. And there's no such thing as a revolution where the revolutionaries want to be exactly like the people that they're revolting against. There has to be a division there. There has to be a division of mind and ideology, which is why I would never promote dehumanizing other people. The dehumanization of human beings is something that white people have used as a strategy to justify killing people who are not white. The dehumanization of other people is something white people have used as a strategy to justify harming people who are not white. So how could you engage in a revolution if that's your strategy? You're just like the people you're revolting against. My idea of revolution does not include being just like them, but with a black face. So I just wanted to clear that up because I do not appreciate the idea of people coming to my page, talking that race war crap, trying to project that bullshit on me. I'm not about that because, like I said, a race war means that if it has white skin, then you would kill it. I said revolution, not race war. I said a restructuring of government, a restructuring of social values, a restructuring of political ideals. That's called revolution. It's not called a race war. And I think it's very important to say that. It is good for entertainment value. It's good for entertainment value to engage in these conversations where, you start talking really crazy about a group of people just for the sake of talking crazy about them. That's entertaining and all. But I hope that everybody knows that it would take a psychopath like the ones who are already in power. It would take psychopaths like them to ever simply look at a person and go, I'm going to kill that person based on what they look like. It would take a crazy person to do something like that. And you see people and they're in the chat and they're all about it. And I would say those are not the kind of people I would ever want to see in power, because how would it be different from what we're already in? What would change? Revolution is not about simply changing the skin color of the people who have the power. That is very base. It's not about a change in skin color. It is about a change in ideology. An ideology. If you're going to have black skin but share the same ideology as the people in power now, then a revolution will not help. It won't change anything. It'll just be the same thing, but with black people doing it. Surely everybody realizes that. Surely people understand that simply changing the skin color of a person, if their mindset is as debaucherous and as vile and as disgusting as the people in power with white skin, it will just be the same thing with a black skinned person. We cannot be that base. I want to see our community thrive. I think that we need to stick together because obviously we are oppressed based on our skin color. But I don't think that the revolution needs to start with us remaking the wheel, where we then start oppressing people based on their skin color. It's like, well, then what is the point of the revolution then? If we're just going to do all the same things white people did, white people go around the earth killing all the black people. Now we're going to go around the earth killing all the white people. White people say that black people aren't humans. Now we're going to go around and say white people aren't humans. White people go around committing genocide against black people. Now we're going to go around and commit genocide against white people. I mean, what do we need a revolution for? We're all the same around here. We're all about the same thing. What is the point of the revolution at that point? So no, I'm not promoting a race war. That would be dumb. I'm not promoting hating people simply because of the color of their skin. Nobody has ever heard me say anything like that on this channel, ever. In fact, I've said the opposite many times. But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of the people who need to be taken care of have white skin. I'm just saying I wouldn't extend that out to every single white person. I wouldn't just be plucking little white babies off the street and putting them up in a firing line because they're white. I wouldn't do what white people did, would go, oh, look, that person has black skin. That can be a slave. That person has black skin, so they don't think the way we do. That person has black skin, so they don't have the same feelings that we do. That person has black skin, so they're not really human. They're only partially human. Some sort of human monkey hybrid. But I hear black people literally saying the same thing about white people that they say about us. Well, those are not the kind of people I would want leading a revolution, because that's not a revolution. It's just the same thing with a different skin color. No white person alive has done that. That's not true. What are you talking about? There are white people alive that have done that. You do recognize the stuff that went down in Australia just ended like 40 years ago. You do recognize in Fiji right now, that's going on. You do recognize that in India, right now, I can show you a clip right now today of a white person saying black skin is a curse based on their religion, a whole country full of people. You do realize right now in Brazil, they believe that breeding out blackness is a way to better their race. So, yes, alive white people have done that, living ones. Everything is in ancient history. If it was ancient history, we wouldn't need a revolution. Come on now. Not Americans, really? Didn't Hillary Clinton call black men super predators? And her husband was president? Do you think that the wife is her mindset is that far off from the husband? This is just some food for thought because I feel like a lot of times we have YouTube conversations and these YouTube conversations are bullshit. These YouTube conversations are full of crap. Please do not bring that kind of stuff over to my channel. Don't comment that stuff on my page. Don't come in my chat. Do not attach me to that. I don't agree with it. And so, since there was clearly some confusion based on what I saw in my chat, since there's clearly some confusion of where I stand, let me just put that out here now. Lest anybody be confused. Because I in no way, shape, or form appreciate it nor like that, nor do I want that energy here. That is not something that I am about. Not even a little bit. I would never promote something like that because that would defeat the whole purpose of everything that I talk about. I'm not trying to trade one psychopath for another, okay? Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. And I hope that that's cleared it up. And to the person that brought that to me and the people who have made that comment over time, stop. Just stop. I don't have a channel where I just have conversation to be salacious and say irresponsible things just because it makes me money. I don't make a living off of YouTube. I'm not here to say things that are not realistic. I'm not here to be on some bullshit. I'm not here to push out these commentaries that are common on social media, but are literally bullshit. That is not my purpose. Do not attach me to that crap. I'm not about that. And that's really all that I have to say. And for those of you who are thinking that a race war is feasible, I would ask you the same question that I asked earlier. When we talk about killing people based on the simple color of their skin, when we start having conversations about the goodness or the humanity of people based on the color of their skin, then what you are saying is that if you are looking at an infant, if you are looking at a 2-year-old, if you are looking at a child, the color of their skin is enough for you to kill that person. That is the heart of a race war. And I'm simply not on that page. Those are the very kinds of monsters. That is the very kind of mindset that got us in the position we are in now. And it does not sound any more palatable to me. It does not sound any more right to me because a black person says it. It's wrong when white people do it, and it's wrong if black people try to do it. There's no point in condemning white people if you're going to think just like them, if you're going to be just like them, if you want to do the same evil shit that they did, then you are the same kind of devil that they are. And that's all that I have to say about that, you guys. I'll talk to you later.